So you're thinking about moving to Jacksonville, Florida, and you don't know where to start? Well, in this video, we're gonna go over what it's like to live here in Jacksonville, Florida, specifically in one of the newest and hottest communities that people are moving to. So in just a few seconds, we're gonna check out this amazing floor plan with an unbelievable feature in that backyard. So that being said, let's get to it right now. All right, let's not waste any time and get right on to this. So the thing about living here in Jacksonville is that it's all about being outside. So I love the fact that this builder with this floor plan gives us this nice, oversized, covered front porch. I mean, this is a massive space. Maybe even, some people would maybe argue even too big, but it really does, again, epitomize and shows off just why people love living in Florida, love living in Jacksonville, because it really allows you to just be outside in this beautiful weather that we're having. You'll be able to hang out with friends, family, whatever the case may be. And obviously if someone's coming to visit, they can always wait for you to get to the door by just hanging out in the front porch. With that being said, let's go ahead and now check out the inside as well, because you're gonna notice right away when we come in that this home, it opens up on you. That's one of the things I love about this floor plan is you come in here and you get these instant 20-foot ceilings, super wide hallway, obviously plenty of rooms that we're gonna get to in just a moment. And I love too the fact that the builder on this, they did that open railing all the way up to really highlight and show off the space, because it really does just make it feel just wide open, very much that luxurious kind of look when you come in that you don't get across the board with a lot of homes when you're living here in Jacksonville. So this one gives you all of that. From here, we're now gonna check out the first of our many bedrooms. So with this first bedroom, what I love about it, and you're gonna see it here in just one second, is the fact that they have it tucked away in here, but you also get tons of natural light having these windows out the front. You still get those super tall ceilings, super tall doors. I mean, these are things that you don't get across the board with every builder or every floor plan, which is why you need someone like me in your corner to go over just what floor plan may make the most sense for you and your family when you're moving here to Jacksonville. So definitely make sure you reach out to me. You can call me, text me, message me, on social media. Obviously, you can also schedule time on my calendar. No matter what, my goal is to help you when it comes to your move here to Jacksonville. So as we come in here, I do want to highlight, we do have a nice, great size walk-in closet here. And it's not just the walk-in closet that impresses me with this bedroom. Obviously, the bedroom's a good size. You have a queen size bed, some end tables, a dresser, but the walk-in closet is massive. And you also have with the walk-in closet, the first bathroom, because this is a mini primary bathroom. So with this bathroom, we do have a single vanity. We also have the seamless glass enclosure, and they did the step down here, so it keeps all the water inside the shower. But more than anything else, what I really love about this space here is this accent wall tile that they chose. They did it in more of a herringbone style design with the really smaller tiles, and it really just kind of pops at you. So it's something that I really do enjoy seeing because it makes it almost like a focal point for this space. Because I'm all about having as many focal points in the house as possible. For not just for you and your guests, but also for everyone you want to show off the space too, whether if it's friends or family, or even down the road for resale. Because stuff like that, it's very minimal sometimes when you're going through the process of buying the home, but it has a massive impact later on. Now on the other side here, and we will, just a heads up, we will get to the rest of the house in a moment, but the other side of the house here, before we get there, we do have a half bath here for guests. So this half bath, again, great way they designed it. This really allows guests to be able to have their own space to go to. They don't have to go into any of the bedrooms, keeps your bedrooms private. And you probably wouldn't do this with yours, but they did do the tile up to the ceiling. So that tile up to the ceiling, it's a cool touch, and they did it in like a octagon or hexagon pattern. So definitely just a cool look there that you don't see in many spaces. But the builder did it on this one to really just show you what you could do, because again, it is one of their model homes. You do also have some storage underneath the stairwell, which is also lighted. And from there, we do have our 3-car garage. Now you're gonna notice that it's a 2-car garage from the front, and that's because this is a tandem style garage where you actually have one of the sides goes another whole another whole car length deeper in. So on the other side of this wall here is actually that third car garage. It's just deeper in, so you don't see it from the street. And then on the other side of our garage door is going to be our laundry room. So first floor laundry, which is honestly, it's great to have, great to see, because again, the primary, you may have guessed, you may not have, but the primary is also on the first floor. Very common here in Jacksonville for that to be the case. Reach out to me to know why that's the case, because if you're coming here from out west or up north, you may be used to not having a first floor primary, but here that tends to be the standard. But what I like that the builder did here is they did do the single sink. So you do have that in your laundry room space. They gave us plenty of cabinetry up top for storage. They gave us a nice quartz countertop here over our washer dryer to be able to, again, fold laundry, more storage as well. So different options there. And it's minimal, but I do love this tile pattern. Just something that's a little different, again, makes it another focal point in the home. Because again, it's all about having multiple focal points throughout the house. And as we head to the office next, I do want to also highlight and point out these beautiful floors. These are hardwood floors. They actually surprisingly have maybe a tinge of gray in them, which is not something we see too often with these woods. And honestly, it comes out very well. It gives you a more modern feel, more of a modern elegance with the space. So it matches a lot of the other elements that they put in here, such as the open shelving, the nice little sitting area back here in the office. So again, with that modern feel, it pairs extremely well with the space overall. And that's the cool thing about here in Jacksonville is that if you want a modern house, it's possible. If you want a coastal house or a farmhouse style house, it's still possible. And even if you want a Mediterranean style house, we have those as well. We have certain neighborhoods specifically for that. So that's the cool thing about Jacksonville. It's why I love this area, is that no matter whatever lifestyle, whatever kind of look and feel you like, there are builders who will do it across the board. So if you want to know who this builder was, you can stay till later in the video, which I will go over, or reach out to me. Again, you can call me, text me, email me. I'm always happy to help answer any questions you have about the builder here, about this floor plan, or about the neighborhood we're in today. So as I mentioned, beautiful stairwell here. With that being said, let's not waste any time. Let's actually go upstairs now to show you what's up there. All right, so now we are upstairs. I just want to highlight one more time. I mean, look at this view from up here. Having this open railing, having these taller ceilings with the crown molding, with the accent walls, it really does, and the chandelier as well, if we're going to really point out everything, it really does just show off the space. It gives it such a high-end, luxurious feel, but it's still at a very desirable price point as well, which I will mention later on in this video. So as we come in, same flooring as downstairs too. So as we come through the second floor, the first thing we're gonna come into is our loft. It could be a game room if you want it to be. It could be a kid's room. You could make another bedroom. But right now, the way they have this designed is they have it designed as more of a loft or even like a movie room. So they did a lot of custom cabinetry here just to give us some more storage. As you can see, there's tons of natural light. They did some nice accents with the lights in the wall, with the sconces. You even have, the surround sound in here with the recessed lighting. So it really has everything you would need. In fact, if you want to make like a man cave, it even has, or a she shed, even has a dry bar in here. So this dry bar, they did give us a mini fridge. You could also most likely, instead of the mini fridge, you probably could, as an option, do a sink there instead if you wanted a wet bar up here. And they still give us plenty of open storage, nice tile backsplash. So it really has everything you need to be able to host, to be able to have gatherings up here, and really allows you to keep your living room downstairs as maybe more of the focal piece, more of the showpiece for people, while up here is maybe where you spend more of your time with your family, including this front porch or patio that we have upstairs. So up here, I do really like this. It's one of those things that you have to imagine there will be houses across the way at some point with a house like this. But it's a really great space. Plenty of room for couches. Obviously, we have the mounted TV up here. Still have the surround sound as well. So another great area to be able to host and have people. And again, maybe you're someone who wants to have some curtains up here to have more privacy. Something you can still do. But if you're fine with being open like this, then it's ready to go for you. So all in all, great use of the space. And this is partially why that front porch down below is as big as it is because of the fact that we have this second story patio to go with it. So then we get to this part of the second story, and we're actually going to start this way, and that's going to take us to our first of 2 bedrooms over here. So this bedroom, as you see when we come in, it's a good sized space. We have a queen size bed here with 2 end tables. We have room for a office desk. So again, if for kids, they can work in their work on homework in their room. If you don't want to have them use the loft as that kind of space. But what I really like about this space is, again, we do have that natural light. We still have some pretty good ceiling height here. We are still going to be looking about 10-foot ceilings up here, maybe 9, but looks like 10 to me. So with that being the case, I mean, it really makes the space feel bigger than maybe it really is. Now, if you want to know the exact dimensions, reach out to me, I'll get those for you. And then lastly, just to point out too, we do have a walk-in closet with this room as well. And that's a continuing theme you're going to see throughout this video, is that every bedroom in this house that is designed and designated as a bedroom has a walk-in closet. So that part is always awesome to see. Then from there, we have our bathroom up here that's going to support both the bedrooms, as well as anyone that's using the loft. So with this bathroom, we have a double vanity. We also have a nice shower tub combo. Now this space does not have that natural light like the rest of the house does. So that's one thing that would have been cool to see, but I understand you can't always do it. But what I do like here is they did a really cool pattern with the tile. It's a very clean space overall. But because they did a darker tile, it does make the space feel maybe a little darker than we would have liked. That's just my opinion. It still looks amazing, but just things that are more the minutia of it, as far as things that you could have done differently. Then here's our second bedroom upstairs. So this is our 3rd bedroom overall, but second upstairs. And again, same situation. Great size. Still have end table, still have the queen size bed, still have the office desk, and we still have the walk-in closet. So both these bedrooms up here have those walk-in closets, which is a huge bonus that you don't get on every single floor plan, which is again why you need me in your corner to go over all that to figure out which builder and which floor plan makes sense for your family. So really well done across the board. They want some darker finishes in there, but with the natural light that you have, it still comes out really, really well. So overall, great use of the space up here, but let's get to the area that I know you guys are super interested in, which is our living room and our kitchen. All right, so down here, obviously, I know I've been kind of holding on you guys, but as we get through here, you'll see why. First thing we're gonna touch on is this amazing oversized kitchen. So this kitchen, things I love about it, things that some of these things are going to be more from the standpoint of design center, your design options, but some of these things are going to be more how they design the house in general structurally. The things I love about it is it does open us up to the living room, which we'll show off in just a second. You still do get great ceiling height with this space as well, which is not always a guarantee when you have that second story. So I do love to see that. But as far as the design elements, one of the things I do want to touch on right away is, ultimately with this space, we do have that waterfall effect with the countertops, for the island. So this waterfall effect, not every builder does it, but when they do this really thick quartz and they go down to the floor with it, personally, that comes off as super elegant, super, high end as far as a look and a feel. And the cost may surprise you on what it takes to do that, either in a good way or a bad way. You just gotta call me to find out more on it. But it really does go extremely well with this modern feel that you're probably seeing throughout this house. Because again, every design serves a purpose with a floor plan with a house. And so when you go with a more modern look, you wanna make sure you continue that throughout the whole house. Last thing you want is to have a kitchen that's modern and a primary bedroom bathroom that's coastal. But here as well, we do have a nice oversized refrigerator. We do have our microwave oven combo, so oven down below, microwave up top, all high-end appliances as well. And then we also have this beautiful walk-in pantry, which we'll show off now. And the reason it's beautiful to me is it is a really good size, when you turn the corner, but you also get tons of cabinetry in here, which is something that the builder did to really show off the space. But I personally love that because it gives you a better idea of what you yourself could do with this floor plan or any other floor plan in whatever house that you make your own. That's the cool thing about when you watch this, is that you get an idea of what you can do across the board, whether if it's this floor plan or any others that I can help you with. As far as the rest of the space, you're gonna see here, they did the nice cabinetry up to the ceiling. Everything is soft close as well. So what soft close means is, again, you don't have to worry about accidentally slamming a door or a drawer. They even include some glass inserts just to really allow you to show off different parts of the space. In this case, different pieces for your cutlery or for your pots, pans, dishes, whatever the case may be. And then you get to this nice oversized gas stove / oven. So you actually do get a double oven with this. The only difference is it's not a double oven in the wall. You get the single oven in the wall, and you get another oven here with your stovetop. Now this is a gas stovetop. One of the coolest things about this neighborhood, which we will go over as well, is that it is a gas community. So we don't have a ton of them here in Jacksonville. So whenever you get the chance to have a gas community to be able to live in and move to, it's a huge bonus, because if you're used to cooking with gas wherever you're living at currently, it's something that you typically want to continue. And unfortunately here in Jacksonville, there's not a ton of neighbors that allow you to do that. So if you do want gas in your house, don't have to worry about doing propane or anything, reach out to me and I'll give you the list of all the gas communities that you should be focusing on today. But as we continue through the kitchen, we then get to our dining room. So this dining room is more that traditional open floor plan dining room. And so it's right off of our kitchen, which is nice. And as you can see here, it's a 6-seater table. But here's the cool part. It's only a 6-seater table, but you could easily do an 8-seater table, maybe even a 10-seater table, depending on what kind of table you choose. In this case, they went with a nice round table. They gave us a pretty cool modern light fixture to go with it. As I mentioned previously, I'll mention again, I love all the natural light here, which obviously has a beautiful view, which we'll get to shortly. Again, that's a feature that you don't want to miss. You may have already seen glimpses of it. But really, it does show off the space really well. And again, I love the fact that it is open to our kitchen and to our living room, because this living room, it really becomes a focal point for when people come in, because the first thing they see when they walk into your home. Obviously, they see the nice tall ceilings, the open railing, but for a floor plan like this, if you did it kind of like how the builder did this one, obviously this is that showpiece. This is the piece that really puts your house over the top, really makes yours sometimes more desirable than others, is having the space like this. In the floor plan we're in today, I will give you the name of it shortly, but it's one of their most popular floor plans here in the area. So this floor plan, we've been in it many times. It is always one that people absolutely love for elements just like what you're seeing in this video. So again, I love that they did the gas fireplace with the nice tile mantle up to the ceiling. Obviously gives us a little wood there as well for the look. I also like the wood in the ceiling for the tray ceiling. It just kind of adds a little bit of color to the space, adds a little bit of depth having it with that darker wood. And it does also highlight the recessed lighting and also the surround sound speakers here in this space as well. Because again, when you build with the builder, you get a lot of different options you can choose from, such as those options. So it's always a cool element to determine when you are choosing a builder and a floor plan to buy, and whether if you buy a home that you're building from the ground up, or if you're buying more of a move-in ready home that's already been spec'd out, everything's been chosen. So there's different options there. With that being said, let's now check out the primary, which I'm sure you can't wait to see. So this primary, honestly, it's one of those spots in the house that I love to be able to check out with any floor plan, because it really tells you a lot about a home, is how the primary is designed and what they put all into it. So this primary bedroom, again, first thing you're gonna see here is all this natural light backs up to our backyard. So again, very private primary bedroom. You also, as you saw when I came in, you have that little jut in, that little L-shaped jut in from the living room to give you more privacy. Because again, with the primary, it's all about privacy. But as far as the space, we have the 2 end tables, nightstands. We have a nice oversized king size bed. Nice little area here to sit down, take your shoes off if you want to. We still get the dresser as well. And besides all that, we still got tons of walkable space here, which again does highlight just the size of this space. Then here, just like with the living room, they did do a tray ceiling. If you know me, you know I love my trays. So love the tray ceiling here. They still did that wood inlay on the ceiling with the crown molding. But in this case, they went with more of a gray color than that darker brown wood that we saw in the living room to match the accent wall they did here on the wall here with the wood elements. From there, it then brings us into our primary bathroom. So this primary bathroom, it is, again, an amazing size space. You can definitely tell that a lot of the square footage in this house went to the primary, as it should in a lot of times, in a lot of situations. But things that I do love about this is they do give you the his and her vanity. You still get tons of cabinetry here. Obviously, you could swap this out for more cabinetry if you wanted to. But this tile pattern, I personally love the look of that. You know, something that we're seeing more often nowadays. And honestly, it's having a great effect on people. So I wouldn't be surprised to see builders continue this, not just in their model homes, but also in a lot of their inventory homes or spec homes across the board. I'd love to know your thoughts on that. So if you love that, just like I do, drop in the comments, or if not, let me know what you would like to see there instead. Then we do get our nice oversized soaker tub. And I do love when the builders do these freestanding tubs. And it's even a cool thing, you know, again, not only does it have the main head, but you also have a little pull-out head there too. Not always a guarantee you get that with these freestanding tubs in general. Then we do have the transom window as well for natural light to come in. Then we get to our shower. And what can I say besides just wow? I mean, this is a massive shower. I mean, you know, from side to side, I mean, it's got some depth to it. It's got some width to it. I do like the fact that the builder did some nice little inserts there for your soaps, your shampoos. You obviously have the shower heads, you know, there as well. But then you also have these amazing rain heads for each side. So the way to design this shower is you really do have the ability to come in, turn the shower heads on, not get too wet, let the water warm up, which by the way, these houses are gonna be on a gas hot water heater. So it's a tankless hot water heater. It's not instant hot water, but once you get that hot water, you never lose it. So that's a huge bonus. And as I mentioned previously, they did this space as well with the seamless glass and the insert down below. So really well done across the board for this space. And then lastly, with the primary, we have our primary closet, because again, primary closet is a great space to be able to, you know, kind of end on with it. In this primary closet, I love when the builders do this, but they did that custom cabinetry, custom closets throughout. You know, you even have spaces like this that you can put jewelry or whatnot. It's all soft close as well. So the thing about it is, whether if you want to do this with your primary closet or not, what's cool is it at least shows you what you can do with the space. Because for me, that's what I'm all about is, you know, you may not necessarily watch this video and say, hey, I want that exact home, but you may say, you know what? I want cabinetry in my closet just like this one. So that's where you do get to be able to experience those things when you watch these home tours, because it gives you a better feel of what you could do with your space, no matter where you buy, what builder you build with, what house you buy in general. So across the board, it serves tons of purposes in understanding things you can do with your own house. So we're not done just yet. I know, shocker, right? But this last part is by far my favorite feature. So want to make sure I save the best for last for you guys. So let's go outside now so you can see just that feature. And now we're gonna check out this beautiful backyard with some amazing features that you don't see every day. So right away, we get this nice oversized covered back patio. You could always screen it in, but the other thing you may notice too, this back patio, is it's a pretty nice open space here, right? Well, that's because the builder designed these sliding glass doors to actually tuck in behind the wall. And what that does is it really makes this a nice continuation from the inside of your house to the outside. So when you have guests over and it's a nice day out, maybe not too hot or too cold, whether you have this screened in or not, you can open it all the way and you could really just be able to have this area in general be a complete entertainer's delight with how everything just flows naturally in from the inside to the outside, from the inside to the outside and outside to the inside. But out here too, you're gonna see here that they actually gave us a small summer kitchen in the covered area. And I say that specifically because you'll see more in a second. But with the summer kitchen, we do have, you know, some trash there. We do have our mini fridge here as well. And they do also include a sink here with a cooler that you can also put drinks and ice for people to be able to grab a drink or whatnot. And you even have a little bottle opener there. But the reason why it's only somewhat of a summer kitchen is because when we come out into this beautiful backyard, and again, this pool is to die for, so we'll get to that in 1 second. But you're gonna see here that we have the rest of our summer kitchen out here. So with this summer kitchen, we have more trash storage here. You know, so again, you have trash there, trash here, plenty of areas to throw away your cans and bottles. More storage as well there. We have our gas Coyote grill here as well. More storage there. And then we have our mini fridge here as well. So again, tons of spots there across the board with this oversized summer kitchen. So really, I mean, what more could you want with that? And you'll notice too that we actually have this turf out here. This turf is so nice at this time of the year because here in Jacksonville, here in Northeast Florida, most of the grass you're gonna see here is gonna be that St. Augustine grass. And St. Augustine grass grows pretty quickly. So what this turf allows you to do is it keeps you from having to mow your yard every single week. So again, maybe a little bit of upkeep with it, but it's a beautiful touch when you see builders do this. And then we're just gonna quickly highlight back here as well. And back here, you'll notice they gave us a little bit of a step down area and gave us an area here that you could use as additional area to be able to hang out, play some games at. So again, they have it set up ready to go for cornhole, just to kind of show you what you can do with this space. Again, it's great when the builder kind of emphasizes the backyards or emphasizes the space of the home in general to be able to show you what you can do with the space if you desire it. Then up here, we do have plenty of area to sunbathe and to tan. And we even have with it too, our hot tub that flows into our pool. So this hot tub, again, you know, the question is how much would you use it? Some people would use the hot tub more than others, but it's a great touch to have. I love the fact that the builder on this pool, they went the darker pebble color for the pool surface. Just really gives it a nice contrast with this lighter tile that they did for the top. So it definitely does give you some differences there. And obviously it does flow into the pool from here, which is pretty typical for it. So as we continue through, you'll also notice that we also have not just that, but we also have these water features on both sides. And what those water features do, you know, you see one here, there's one on the other side as well, is they add a ton of just noise cancellation, you know, noise privacy. So it's one of those things that you don't think about a ton here, but in these neighborhoods, you know, you're typically going to be limited in your fencing that you can do. You know, very minimal time can you do privacy fencing with these neighborhoods. So to be able to get some privacy, you'll see more hedges, and for sound privacy, you'll see more like those water features to dilute some of the overall sound that you have across the board. But the pool, I do love the size of it. It's a great size overall. Things that I love about it is you do have plenty of space here to use as a lap pool, plenty of space here that you can just sit down in, you'll be able to walk into. You even have an area here that you can lounge in. So there's tons of different spaces here, whether if you want to lounge, sit, or just do some laps, that really make it a really cool space overall that we don't get with all the pools that we have here. It really is a one-of-a-kind pool that we don't see a ton. So I love when the builders show that off to be able to show you what you can do with the space. Then lastly, as we end up out here, we actually have this sunken in fire pit. Honestly, it's a really cool feature. You don't see it across the board very often. The sunken in fire pit, this is gonna be a gas fire pit. And what I really like about it is not only do you have the fire pit here and tons of seating on the sides, you even have that waterfall effect with the water coming from the pool to really just, again, give you that noise cancellation, that soundproofing, so to speak, that gives you just additional privacy across the board. Because again, we want to be a part of nature here in Jacksonville. We want to be outside as much as we can, but we also want privacy while we're doing it. So that is something that it really epitomizes what it's like to live here in Jacksonville. And if you want to know more about where we're at today, or just why people are choosing to come to this community or to come to Jacksonville in general, we're going to go over that just now. right now. All right, so why Jacksonville, Florida? I get that question a lot, and it's one of those things that the best way I can answer it is, here in Jacksonville, we are so conveniently located to other major cities in Florida, but also some cities that are in Georgia as well. So again, if you want to make a trip and you want to go to Orlando, where the price points are obviously much higher, but you want to go to visit to go to like Disney or Universal, you're 2.5 hours away. It's really not too bad to make a weekend trip out of it. If you want to go to Miami, where prices are definitely higher, you're about 5 hours away from Miami. What about Tampa? Well, Tampa, you're about 4 hours away from Tampa. And then if you want to go to Savannah for a weekend, that's about 2.5 hours. Or if you want to go to Atlanta, that's about 6 hours. So with how conveniently located we are, that makes it a huge draw for people who want to live in Florida, but they don't want to pay Tampa or Orlando or definitely not Miami pricing. Because really to get a house like this with the size like this, I mean, you'll be surprised just what that starting price looks like, which I'll get to in just a moment. But overall, people move here and they live here because of the fact that they want to be more immersed in being outside, being able to go to the beach, being able to just do anything outside. So a couple things I like to always mention is here in Jacksonville, we actually have the most navigable water in the US, which may surprise people. They may sometimes think it may be like a Keys or Tampa or somewhere else in Florida, but no, it's actually right here in Jacksonville. And so there's tons of things you can do, whether it's fishing, boating, going to the beach, whether by boat or by car. There's a lot of different options you have there, but you also have, along with the beaches and the water, you also have quite a bit of, state and national parks here in Northeast Florida. And so we actually have the largest park system in the whole US when it comes to just the amount of parks that we have here. So there's always something you can do to be outside on any given day when we have such beautiful weather like we do most of the time throughout the year here. But there's also other social events here. We have a lot of, bars down in Riverside, Avondale. We have bars over in the beaches. So if that's the kind of scene you're looking for, we have that as well. But we also have sporting events like the Jacksonville Jaguars, the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp, which is a baseball team here, Jacksonville Icemen, which is a hockey team. For arena football, we have the Jacksonville Sharks. So there's different sporting events year round that you can go to with you and your family that are honestly fairly affordable to make it to where you can do it more than just a couple times throughout the year. You can actually make it a continuing thing with friends or with family while you're living here. So those kinds of things really do make Jacksonville such a desirable area across the board. And then here where we're at today, we're actually in the St. Johns County area of Jacksonville, which has some of the best schools, not just in the area, but in the whole state of Florida. So that also becomes such a huge draw for people when they're deciding on where to move to in Florida, are the schools, because of just how good they are here in St. Johns County. Now, as far as where we're specifically today, we are in the master plan community of Silverleaf, one of Jacksonville's hottest and newest communities. And one of the amazing things about this area is they have amazing amenities that they're constantly adding on to. So what's really cool is you get amenities for the community of Silverleaf in whole, but you also get community amenities specifically for the neighborhood we're in today, which is the Newbrook neighborhood, which is a neighborhood that's built by Toll Brothers Homes. Toll Brothers is a national home builder, but they have done an amazing job here in Northeast Florida. They're very well known in the area for some of their neighborhoods in Nocatee, which is another master plan community. And Toll Brothers is very well known for their quality of construction for most of their neighborhoods here. And it's why people will a lot of times go from buying one Toll Brothers house to when they go to sell that one, the next house will also be Toll Brothers. So that's in that when you have a continuation there with people, it does show that the builder's probably doing something right to be able to have people come back to them the second, even third time around. But as far as the floor plan we're at today, this is one of Toll Brothers' most popular floor plans. This is Toll Brothers, the Julington floor plan. And the Julington floor plan, as you've seen today, there's a lot of reasons why it is one of the most popular floor plans. Obviously, the openness of it, the high ceilings, the very modern look that you can make it. Obviously, when you put a backyard like that into a place like this, it's going to really make it pop as well. Obviously, that is an upgrade, so something that you'd have to determine, is it in budget? Is it something you want to do now or maybe do after the fact? I can always help you with that as well. All you have to do is reach out to me. Again, call me, text me, email me, put time on my calendar. My calendar's My calendar link is in the description of this video. But this floor plan, it serves a lot of purposes. And what I mean by that is, it has the ability to be a 4-bedroom, which is what we saw today, up to a 6-bedroom floor plan. It has the ability to have 3 to 4 full bathrooms. This one today had 3 full bathrooms. Obviously, you get the half bath either way. And then you also have the ability to have a 3 to 4 car garage. Now, we didn't look at the garage today, but as I mentioned, it's a 3-car tandem garage. So that just means one of them is a whole another 20 feet deeper. So you don't see it from outside, but you see on the inside. And so overall, it gives you a lot of different ways you can lay it out to fit you and your family's needs across the board. And as far as the size, it's 3398 square feet. So there's plenty of room to work with there, plenty of room to roam to be able to design it exactly how you want it, whether it's to look like this one, or if you want to have it in a whole different design kind of look as well, you can do it with Toll Brothers. Now, the last thing I'm going to get to is the price as well as the incentives. And the reason I say that for last is because I always have to preface that these are always subject to change. So it's never a guarantee that what you're seeing here in this video is what it is right this second. Again, another reason why you need to reach out to me to find out just what the incentives are and the prices right this second. But for this one today, their starting price on this, you're not going to believe it, is $804,000, or roughly $804,000. So that's an amazing price to get this kind of square footage in this location here in Jacksonville. And again, with customization, it will probably go up from there. But ultimately, it's a great starting price to be able to get into a floor plan just like this one here in Newbrook at Silverleaf. And then as far as the incentives, those are always subject to change. Typically they're going to do anywhere from $30,000 to $50,000 for design center options, or for taking off the price if it's a what they call inventory or spec home, where it's already pretty much at completion and they've already chosen everything. That's a great kind of starting point to get into the door. And every dollar you can get to help you on the purchase is always a dollar worth taking. So the fact that they are offering those incentives is massive. And again, they will change. Well, you have to reach out to me, but it's a great starting point. But overall, with this house, it is probably one of my favorite floor plans to be able to go through and to show off to you, the audience. But there's also some other amazing ones that I've already done as well that you're not going to want to miss either. So at the end of this video, you will see on the end screen a couple other videos that I've done in some of the other homes here in Silverleaf or other parts of Jacksonville. I would highly suggest you check that out because it's well worth the time. With that being said, I will see you guys again on our next model home tour.